What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Cold Blooded Conversations with your boy Wally and Johnny Bone. What's going on, sir? How's your night going, man?
Oh, doing good, doing good.
Yeah, you've been looking around anymore at reptiles again since you got bit by the bug again?
Uh, I have been actually. I've been well, been checking out what the new scene is with the leopard geckos here again.
Oh yeah, go ahead and share what you found out, man. I want to hear this.
So I had a tab pulled up, and there was a lot of the morphs. Let's say like the sunbursts and things like that going on. Last time I was looking around, and well, they've been playing around with those morphs and been getting some new stuff out.
I haven't looked into them in a while. I've been kind of looking at the ball python scene again still, even though it's kind of
Nice.
saturated a little bit. There's some new shit, and I kind of found, like I said, what I've been looking for. They're there.
Hell yeah.
Well, the scary part is there's on Morph Market. There's a lot of people. You type in snake collections, selling out
Yeah.
their whole system, their whole breeding program, and everything, racks,
Oh,
all that stuff. It's mostly the ball python side. Oh yeah.
oh, kidding.
There was like 17 people on there that they're selling their whole rack systems for the adults, babies, sub adults. There's even two that's got, besides the snakes, got their rat breeding colony on there for sale.
Are they saying like what reasons? Just like something came up, or they're just
Couple of them on their posts that they had for their sale, they're getting out of it, and some of them's been career changes. But the ones that
still
are
down?
getting out of it, they lost the drive for it, which comes back to, well, the drive. The way I look at it is
Yeah,
they realize they ain't getting rich quick.
it's not, man. I mean, they say Mother Nature's unpredictable. Well, dealing with Mother Nature is also unpredictable.
Oh yeah. Well, there's the one that like Vance was talking about from Blue Zombie Morse when he was on. The
Mm,
guy, after all those years, his landlord now decides that you can't have him no more. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Thanks for tuning in.
mm, oh, wait.
Shout out Chaka if you're still in here, buddy. Thank you, bud.
So
But
yeah,
yeah, that kind of
it's awesome.
situation with that guy sucks. But these other ones, like I said, I get career changes and everything else that it affects that where you don't have the time because I
Of
mean I
course.
know the way cost of everything's getting, but some of the people that I read their things we're getting out of it because we don't have the drive for it anymore. But I mean I get if you don't have the drive, but at the same time when you've got over 100, almost 200 snakes and all this money invested in,
Mm,
uh, you overwhelmed yourself. Hey, what's up, Hoss?
well, fella, good to see you.
So they kind of they just jumped into the game uh, head first and thought they were going to do the whole um, get rich scheme kind of deal. That's what I'm taking from it. But there is some people that you do get burnout and need to take a break from the stuff. I mean, I've been that way. Look at the rough truck scene. I went 16 years without running, but at the same time, I didn't have the money and working all the time. Didn't have time to
For
do
sure.
that stuff, and the kids doing sports. But I get it.
See,
But so
what I'm taking away from that though is, let's say you go into it with a buddy, somebody who's really well trusted and really well connected, right? And let's say you take shifts. You start to get where you were saying where you might need to take a breather a little bit and step back. So you do that, and then buddy takes over for a little while, and he needs to take a break and steps back, and then it alternates.
see, that's the problem. Like Vance was saying, to do a collab with when you're dealing with this stuff, especially some of these guys are doing these collabs and sharing animals. Most of them aren't in the same state. So it makes it hard. I mean, if you got somebody local to you that's as passionate as you are and wants to stay that way, and you can make it work on a 20-year, 30-year plan,
True.
yes, but it's
True.
not always the sad part is it's not always guaranteed. Who's to say in the first 3 years you guys make a deal and they want to back out and you're sit there, you're stuck with 500 animals, let's just say, kind of doing a store site deal.
Then you deal with the drawbacks of it.
Yeah, because you got to have all the overhead for the feed, the lighting, the husbandry. You're basically 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, running that, and no life outside of that. But when you were together, you thought you were going to be partners. I mean, it just, that's why they say you don't want to get it big.
I don't know. Well, that that reminds me a little bit. I know we were talking recently here a couple weeks ago about Brian. Uh, I mean, sure that dude had a family system with him going with it, but I
Right,
would
but I mean, look what he did. They did though, Johnny. I mean, it was a family thing that grew into. But the thing of it is, this generation, even my generation, people get into it for the wrong things, and they don't have the drive and passion like he does. You know what I'm saying?
ain't that the truth?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, Haas, on that, dude. If it's gonna be your first animal, I'd be honest with you. I'd go with a beardy or a corn snake or a ball python, just
Yep.
depending on a corn snake, ball python, even a king snake, something. Main
I
thing of
agree
it
with
is,
that.
dude. Main thing of it is, just remember, it's a 20-year commitment,
Yes.
especially if you got your husbandry, your where you keep it and stuff up to date, up to stuff with everything it needs properly taken care of. Just remember, at least with a bearded dragon, I'll be honest with you, it's a little simpler to take care of. Other than
I agree.
the housing is a little different, especially for adults. You need a 4x2x2 style caging for it. Good heat spots. Stay up on top of their. They eat different types of vegetables and stuff. Crickets. It can get expensive, but with a ball like a snake, you got to worry about depending on what you get the mice, the rats, where you're going to get them from. Um, a ball python, you got to have the humidity just right. You can't just have throw it in something and say here you go. Now corn snake, king snake, they're a little simpler, but they can be really picky eaters. Um,
Oh yeah.
now with them, you can use different beds. I know people use aspen bedding mostly for their kings and their corn snakes and stuff, but always have it like a humid hide, so when it comes time to shed, that they got something that'll help shed. But you don't have to have it where the humidity's got to be 80% and higher like you do on a ball python. And it depends on what room you keep them in. Like my house is an older house, so the humidity fluctuates during the seasons. So it's kind of you fight with the humidity during the summertime here in Ohio. So it's like you got to make it where that room's set up just for it. Oh, hell, Wells in here too. What's going on,
Oh,
Well?
right on.
How you been, man? But yeah, I mean, if you can find somebody that's as committed as you are, and that's your primary focus besides your main job and your family, that you can both can have them all involved in it, more power to you. But it's got to be there's a lot of people out there that are doing this solo, and I mean they do support their families with it, but a lot of them their families aren't fully involved. And unfortunately, Brian was lucky; he had his family, and he had and established a bunch of good coworkers. Um, my buddy area Steve Nelson. I mean, his family's tenfold into their ordeal, and he's doing big things. Kevin McCurley's got him a damn good crew. He's a great ambassador for keeping animals and stuff. I mean, a lot of people don't like him either, just like they did Brian. But I mean, he's a multi-million-dollar business that does a lot of educational stuff.
Uh, was gonna say these guys don't hold back like favoritism opinions either. They'll tell you really the ugly truth of things.
Wells, we'll set up a Thursday night, buddy. You can come up here with us on the conversations if you want to talk
Oh,
with us. And and the thing is, it is called Cold
yeah,
Blooded Conversations, but we've opened it up to anything animal discussion.
yeah,
This is the only podcast part where I will talk about politics because the laws affect us
yeah,
keeping our animals. So
yeah.
that's the only time that anything political is ever brought up is when it deals with our animals and shit. So yeah, we will have to you'll have to get with us, man, and I'll get it set up on a Thursday. You can come up here and hang out with us. Hey, what's up, Robert Platinum? How's it going? But yeah, it's just one of those deals, dude, that
Good to see you.
it's just one of those things. It's you're gonna have haters no matter what.
Yes.
I just and it's worse than the reptile hobby, man. Look what Vance said. But I've
Yeah.
also seen. But I'm gonna be honest with you. There, I found out some other shit that we'll talk later about. I'll let you fill you in on when we're done.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
there's drama. I mean, there's drama filled everywhere. But it,
Everywhere.
it's gotten bad. I've seen behind the scenes and stuff on stuff where
Well,
everybody's in the reptile community instead of uniting like we all should. It's back to that if you
well,
don't like me bullshit and everything else and it's getting old. My main thing is you want to do this. The thing of it is the businesses is there for it, let alone having them as pets.
yeah.
If you go smart about it, you can have a pet store slash um, mini zoo if you would want to say so.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
I love that, Wells. That is the damn truth right there, buddy. I know all about the haters, Lo. That's right. Tell them to drink some haterade.
Yeah.
Oh, we know too
Oh
well.
yeah.
Haas, with that, it'd vary, man. I will send you some information through text message on how to set that up for those. So, and that's even
For
I'll
sure.
send it too for the corn snakes, all that stuff. I'll get you the info you need, buddy. I'll text it to you. I'll tag you and Johnny
Oh,
in it. We'll do a group text. So
hell yeah.
well that and how another good one would be Johnny's specialty. Fucking leopard gecko is easy to as another good starter pet too, man. So
Oh, for sure.
but,
It,
but yeah, back
there's
but yeah,
something with
back
those though.
oh yeah. It's they're
Um.
pretty decent uptake, but you just gotta watch your substrate you use for them. Isn't that right,
Yes.
Mr. Bongs?
Yes. Uh. Now the male I had, he had some shedding issues. He had a couple of things which ultimately led to his head kind of swollen up,
Right.
and I tried to bring him back from it, and I did as best I could. You know, nature's unpredictable. He ultimately ended up passing from that.
You'll have,
Oh,
and the thing is, you'll have that. But I mean, like we've talked and you've talked, you've learned from it and you've become better educated. Well, that's the other
yeah,
thing comes back to with leopards. Human hides come in a big play with those getting one set up. You can have a couple hides for them and have one set up with some peat moss and stuff in there for
yeah.
them
Oh yeah,
to shed with. So, and you do that with the snakes too and everything because it really helps. It'll help out. But yeah,
for sure,
um, but yeah, you can if you get the right people, you get the right drive.
for sure.
One of the peoples I follow, they just opened a thing in Michigan. It's called the Serpentarium.
Nice,
Katie and her fiance,
nice.
it's basically a mini zoo. It's got nothing but reptiles in it, but they deal with venomous up there because where they're at, the laws are kind of lax on keeping venomous. So there's not so
Oh,
much. There's certain things, but it's not where you got to go through like Florida, have 1,000 hours for this and this and this. But they opened that up in the southern part of Michigan. You can go up, do tours, and get educational stuff and learn about them. And I mean, you could do that anywhere if you can figure out your town, your laws. Um, but the thing is, it's going to consume you like it's a job, let alone a passion. You got to keep it a passion instead of just looking at it as a job.
Yes. Kind of remind yourself from here and there. Do I still enjoy what I'm doing? Do I thoroughly get enjoyment out of it?
That's why I really haven't jumped in. Everybody's asking, well, do you breed the ball pythons? No, I keep them because I like having them as pets. Because I see following these big breeders and these people, you seen with Vance, the projects and the upkeep and working a full time job, and then you come home and you put 6 or 7 more hours in cleaning snake tubs and making sure they're fed, making sure they don't have mites, they don't get no sicknesses. It
Right.
you're busy 24/7. I mean, it's
Yes.
and it goes for anything hobby wise you make of it. So,
For sure.
but yeah,
For
there
sure.
it is, and it's one of those deals at my age. I'd love to have something like that to give where I'm at, besides a stupid pet store. But it's so hard with jumping through hoops to get what you need to even be uh, what is it? Like you can get donations for it and stuff. You're a nonprofit organization. You're just spreading. But still, to find the money to feed these animals, to keep the power on, all this stuff for that kind of thing, it depends on your area. It can be very hard. Even though you're trying to educate people and keep it going for generations. I mean, it'd be cool to do something like
Yes.
that, but it's just it'd consume you to the point. Are you going to have the tough skin to kind of step back for a little bit and breathe and then jump back in it, or are you going to just throw in the towel because things get tough for it? I mean, it just depends on how you
Right.
handle it.
Well,
What would you do in a situation if you say you had the opportunity to do your leopard geckos again, where you can do multiple morphs, but also do an educational thing with them? What would you do if it was
I
consumed you so much? Just your
I
opinion.
would I would evaluate a couple of things. I would evaluate why I'm doing it. If I want to continue for the same reasons that I'm doing so now, and say I do, then I would take my time to go through, study, well, health issues, things like that that can come up, prepare for those in advance the best I can. Um, because once again, going back to what happened before, I tried to prepare for these very same health issues, but I didn't have the necessary things to. What am I trying to say here? Worded as I didn't have the necessary instruments to patch that up as best I could. So in the end, nature took its course. So going forward, I, you know, verse myself up on health issues a little bit more. See what can happen. Clear for those bases a little bit more. Make sure that you're doing everything in your power. When, like you said, it can get to be a 24/7 gig. Um,
Right.
do that to where that doesn't come about anymore. Really get deep into it and decide that I want to see how further I can provide their living if I want to make this a life's hobby and a life's goal. Then really embrace
Right.
for them and set up a whole portion of living for these creatures so that they can get the best they can out of their life.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you can be so. People are. You've seen it. You've seen the stuff Brian's dealt with. He's always, he's a good example of because of what he keeps, what he bred. You can be prepared, but still, Mother Nature can be she can be an asshole when you still end up with mystery stuff why certain things are done
Right.
or whatever, even though you're doing it to a T, it still happens.
You're still dealing with Mother Nature's unpredictability for sure.
Yeah, it's just you can have you can still have everything. I mean, everything in the world. What's up, Trot? Eva, thank you guys for tuning in over from Johnny's page, man. That's awesome.
Reese, good to see
Um,
you.
but yeah, you can do anything, and I mean, I've seen it. Camp Keenan, one of the other YouTubes, because of this deep freeze they had in Florida, he lost two croc monitors, even though trying to keep them warm in a warm building and everything else. Two of them ended up still freezing to death. It's just the way it happened. And I mean, this was an insulated, big area, everything. That just shows you how Mother Nature can say, well, you're done,
Well,
unfortunately.
yeah, it's it's a fine line between. I know people say, don't blame yourself for what Mother Nature has in store, and also a fine line between also caring about, the very living creatures that you're taking care of. Walking a fine line between those blatant opposites.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah. And if you go watch, and it's called Camp Keenan. If you go watch where he said the bad news at his camp,
yeah,
um, that man throughout the whole hour and a half video beat himself up on what he could have done better to prevent those two from, even though the others all was fine. And that's the
sure,
way it is because, let alone the passion, his animals are also like our family, like our dogs and stuff.
for
I treat
sure.
them as their family. And
Yeah,
that's how passion, and that's where your passion comes in for these, even though
yeah,
even though they're not technically pets, they're still living wild animals, even though they were
yes,
bred and born in captivity. They still got that mentality of the wild in them. Like, you see it all the
for
time.
sure.
Dogs have it because they come from wolves and stuff. You can still see it no matter what the breed is. So
Oh,
it's the
for
same
sure.
with your beardies. I don't care if it's been 30 different years of bearded dragon, different bloodlines. They're still gonna have that instinct in the wild. Look at
Nature's still
why their
nature.
beards get black.
Yeah,
It's a defense mechanism. That's been a thing in the wild. It's one of their things, and they swell their and open their mouths at you and make their beard black to look big. That's been in their life in the wild. They do it in the wild.
oh
Any of
yeah,
them.
hardwired into their genes.
Oh yeah, and it's their defense mechanisms. And there's never ever an aggressive reptile. They can be you consider them aggressive. They're being defensive because of their territory and they're startled. They get it. Now, like your lizards, big lizards, we're talking like your monitors, your tegus,
Yeah,
um, where you got to put more time into them, what they call
for sure.
desensitizing. Get them used to human handling. Don't force
Yeah,
it. Reach in and grab them. You got to work with them to, dude. It's like my iguana. He's that way.
yeah,
We
for
had to
sure.
work, work and work. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get clawed. You may get bit. But as long as you work with them and stay calm, you'll eventually have damn near puppy dog tamed animals.
It once again it goes into, like I said a couple minutes ago. You rather than, being pissed that it fucking
Thank you,
day
Jersey. Good seeing you. Hey, Scorpio, what's happening? Thank
Jersey
you guys for
Scorpio.
tuning in.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean that's the thing is you can have the animals, but you also got to put the time in
Yes.
to work. You just don't throw them in, feed them and stuff. You got to show they do have feelings. They just got
Yeah.
different ways of showing them. So I mean,
Oh,
it's
agreed.
just one of those deals. It's you got to have the love for it for keeping the stuff.
Yes. Well, part of the passion for these things is going as far as to understand even a shred of how they work, right?
Oh, dude, and one of the most smartest animals there is in the reptile community that's kept, and it's because of the challenge of it. Anything in the monitor family.
Yep.
They're honestly, you may think they're big, dumb, mean lizards. They are some of the most intelligent animals on the face of the earth. You make
Uh,
their brains think.
as far as awareness, like looking into something's eyes and seeing awareness, I can honestly say from the times I've actually seen them work and do what they do and just existing,
Oh
it,
yeah.
they're calculative. They look like they're thinking. They look like they're thinking of what's going on next.
Yep.
There's awareness going on there.
Go over to go. Anybody in the chat wants to check us out and see something cool and everything else. Um, Jersey, you kill it in the chats for us. I appreciate you so much for
Oh
being
yeah,
a
Jersey, good
supporter
to
of
see
this
you.
network. But go over to Nerd and watch Kevin McCurley on his training of water monitors from right outside of the egg to adults.
Yeah.
It just blows your mind. And these things walk around his facility like freaking your dog in your house. You come up, you know how most of them you can't touch them in the face, and he's like literally shoving his hand in their face. They're not biting, and you can pet them right on their face, rub their face, everything else. And he's got snakes and shit he does that with. Jersey
Uh,
said, "Hey, Johnny."
hey, Jersey, how you doing? Good to see you.
But yeah, he's one of the. But monitors need big areas.
Oh,
It
for
don't matter
sure.
what breed it is. You need big areas. You need patience and lots of on time and one-on-one sessions, little sessions, 10, 15 minutes at a time. And then all of a sudden, every other day you do that, it will you could end up with a scaly dog. I mean,
Yeah. Oh, for real.
every now and then, yes, you'll get their cantankerous time because breeding season for these animals, any of them, they're a little more moody than normal. So
Yeah.
you're gonna get their usual shit. But other than that, any other day, it's you work with them and feed them and stuff. It works great.
Once again,
So,
even dealing with leopard geckos, they were like
oh,
that.
dude, you get some of those. I've seen videos of those little fuckers feisty and squawking at you. It's like
Yeah.
this little thing thinks it's 10 foot tall and bulletproof.
Yup. My one male that I first got, he was famous for doing that. You could instantly tell when that season started because he would instantly run up to the front of the cage and just stare you down. He wouldn't do that except for during breeding season.
And then they do the little fucking fat tail flip because of that shit. It's like the beardies are the same way, man. They can be, oh
Um,
god, they'll sit there and they'll bob their heads and all this shit. And, oh yeah, it's interesting to see, especially the leopards,
it is.
that how small they are. But man, they can be very temperamental too.
Yes. Yes. I got I got bit a couple good times by that male I had, man. He loved to nip.
I'll tell you the worst to get bit by an iguana. You
Mm,
wouldn't believe it or not. I was fortunate that it didn't do what some of the people I've seen on YouTube videos having them where they had to go
yeah.
get stitches and stuff like Brian did. So,
My
but
God.
you remember that when Tabasco got him and freaking right on his gorilla tattoo?
Yeah.
He ended up, what was it? I
Oh.
think 16 stitches just from a one quick bite from a large male iguana because it was breeding season.
Yep. Yep. They're a they're a whole. People say it's a different animal. It's a whole different animal during breeding season, different than what you know.
Yeah, but like ball pythons, everything else like it's breeding season are not so bad, but you still are gonna have your little spicy noodles
Yeah,
that they're still gonna be kind of striky. Everything else, it don't matter how much you handle them.
yeah.
Everything else, you're gonna still have it. It's
Especially if
just
try to lift it up and try to check the eggs and
oh Jesus, they go. It's mother instincts, man. It don't matter what it is, but there's
for
ways
sure.
around it. You can avoid it.
Oh, for sure, for
Don't be
sure.
like Don't be like one of the other channels with where he breeds retics and shit, and he actually antagonizes them, and they strike just so people can watch his fucking show. I
I don't
used to
support
like him.
any of that.
Well, I used to like this channel until I found out he was on a talk show on a podcast and admitted he does it just to get views. So
Yeah.
I unsubscribe to the channel when it comes to that shit. That's bullshit. Because Kevin McCurley, he raises retics and berms. Yeah, he'll have them every now and then have a mama that's a little defensive, but other than that, he can get the retic eggs out and not even get struck at, and she just still just moves them off the eggs. Oh yeah, but
I
this
was
guy
gonna
every
say
time he does that.
defensive nature, and when it's selectively defensive versus pissing it off, and it's gonna be
Yeah,
constantly pissed. Two
yeah,
different scenarios.
yep. But yeah, I mean that's where you see the difference in the keepers of these things. I mean, especially the big snakes. Those are some. Those things can hurt you.
Gee.
Get an 18-foot snake wrapped around your neck with nobody around or anything else, even around your arm. You're going to end eventually lose your arm because it cuts circulation off so bad.
See, I was mind struck, let's say years ago when I first learned the whole ball pythons, they're cute. They look, kind of adorable. Then you get reticulated, which are
Hmm.
fucking huge.
And
It's
then
like,
you
oh
got of course the big massive which is right here on the upper corner of the
yeah,
anaconda. That's
yeah,
the big girthy. It may not be the longest, but it's the heaviest snake there is in the constrictor family.
yeah.
And then of course, Jersey. Thanks you for throwing everybody's other channels up on there. I love it. I love it. Jersey's killing it again as always. But
Hell
no,
yeah.
it's just one of those deals that you can have them. Um, Another constrictor that I would love to have if I had the space, and for not being a huge snake, boa constrictors. They're such intriguing animals because there's so many different locales that you can get of boas, but the most common is your red tail. They'll get about
Oh
10
yeah.
foot, 10 or 11 foot,
Yeah.
and then those things, I, they're cool as hell. The colorations are awesome. Yes, they can be moody, but it is neat listening to them when they're in their defense because they hiss. They sound like a cobra growling. If you've
Yeah.
ever heard the big king cobra, they've got it like a growl to them. But once again, the more you work with them, the more that they'll be able to be handleable. Yes, you'll still have some that'll be what you call cage defensive. You think, oh, because they're striking it. Once you get them out, they calm down. They're protecting what they consider their home. They think they're
Right.
getting attacked. So, I mean, that's always going to be that way.
Mm, it goes into, base behavior versus that separate individual's personality. I mean, people go through it all the time.
Right. Well, once again, Mother Nature, instincts of all, ever since they've been put on Earth.
Yes.
So, but yeah, boas are cool. There's one that I like. They still haven't come down enough on price for it, and it's a it almost looks like a freaking orange. I mean, it is literally the color of an orange.
Ooh.
Yeah, it is fucking beautiful. It's like a sun boa or something, but they got a red tails done like that where they've made them. It almost looks like literally an orange, kind of like a
Oh, wow.
creamsicle color, like that orange dream ball python I sent you a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Imagine, imagine that just in without the white in it on a boa. Yeah, yeah,
See, it that goes into what we were talking about not too long ago about, really getting that itch about the beautiful morphs, and then you start to get
yeah,
into it and you're like, oh, I could spend some money on this.
yep.
Oh man. Oh, my God.
But yeah, man. I mean, and that's how far it's come, and there's a lot of species now. See, that's the thing. You get into morphs too. You gotta watch. We've talked about it before. It is you gotta change bloodlines. You can't. You can do two or three times with a certain same bloodline in certain animals, but you got to keep it mixed with different bloodlines from different things to keep producing these. You can't just do the interbreeding of them because then you end up with your, like in ball pythons, the spider gene has that real nasty wobble. But there's some of them, um, bearded dragons. I've seen where people's overbred the same bloodlines,
Yeah.
and they get all the funky fucking deformities and same. But it's all across the board. But you see it more common in the popular animals, the leopards, the bearded dragons, the ball python community, the corn snakes,
Mm,
because they don't add they don't add a different bloodline in there to
no,
keep going.
it's the
Yes,
same chromosomes.
it could be the same morph, but it's from somebody else that's a bloodline.
Yes. Well, aside from appearances, it's going to have degenerative effects. Like it's not going to know how to feed itself. It's not going to know how to function. It could be looking two different ways and not even know that it's looking somewhere.
Well, hell, it could have missing eyes, it could have missing arms, but
Yes.
also the other thing is too. That's where the what I hated is those farming where they have like throw in hundreds of bearded dragons and stuff in one little thing because they collected a bunch of eggs and just throw them in. You get them with missing toes. I got a bearded dragon prime example of that. My special ed, nub tail and missing toes,
Yeah.
because he was in a farming system where they keep hundreds of that they just ship around the pet stores.
I've I've heard some, dare I say, controversy on that over the years.
Oh, it's consistent, dude. That's where a lot of them are at like that, man. It's just ugh.
Made me want to stop so much supporting the pet store trade going on and actually find selective breeders.
Well, my thing is there's your big chain corporates,
Yes.
Petco, all that stuff. They have they deal with these farm what I call farming reptiles.
Yeah.
Um, that they keep a bunch of these animals, breed bunches of them, and everything just to sell them. Now, my local family-owned pet store that I do business with, I got them to change now. They're actually buying off of Morph Market and reputable breeders to bring stuff into the stores.
Nice.
Yeah, so they still get their, mass production of crickets and supplies like that from certain places, but a lot of their animals now come from reputable breeders that actually has a good name in the breeding business for their bearded dragons, lizards, and all that stuff in there.
Nice.
Yeah. So I mean, I made a big step, and the reptile displays and animals that they're selling now has jumped up because I threw ideas out and they listened and they're actually been moving animals like crazy.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
See, that's the other thing I like too. When you see people that take your advice and they don't take it as condescending, they actually take the advice and it helps them move forward better in a better direction.
Right. But
Well,
yeah, I mean, it is what it is, and it's just is that you or me? It was you. Somebody was calling you.
yep,
I was like,
exactly.
"What's vibrating?" I'm like, I heard it. I'm like, wait a minute, that's gotta be Johnny's phone. But yeah, that's
I didn't hear it at first, and then
well, it
I
just
got that
started
good
coming
feeling.
through the headphones, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like looking at my phone. I lifted up the laptop to see if it was something under the laptop. Then I heard it come through. But no, man, that's the thing is it's awesome to see too where you can suggest something for small, pet stores that aren't corporate shit. Yes, you're gonna pay more for some of the stuff, but they carry the name brand stuff, and it's cool to shop local. Yes, I get it's pricey, but hell, I support it all the time when I can.
For sure, for sure. Especially when you know it's solid, it's reputable, it's efficient, it's actually taking care of what it has.
Yeah, yeah. And the other cool thing is, if they don't have it, they try their damnedest to order it and get it for you.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. Working well with the
Yeah.
customer.
Oh yeah. They do well, and I mean it's cool. So all right, Baba. You got anything else you want to talk about tonight, sir, in the animal world?
Ah, no, I rounded over pretty much what I had in mind.
All righty, buddy. Once again, guys, thank you all for tuning in. Chatterbox,
There
thank
you go.
you for being supportive. Jersey, once again, thank you guys.
Oh,
Jersey, especially in the comment box, taking care of everything. Love it. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know if anything's going on tomorrow night. I know we are off Saturday. There's no shows because of it being Valentine's Day. So if you guys got your significant others and stuff, enjoy your day together. Monday night, me and Johnny will be back up here on Speedway Stories.
yes, sir.
We got a special guest coming up on the show for us. It's actually a buddy of mine from the rough truck world, and he does a lot of
Nice.
off roading too. Cecil Frazier.
Nice.
Tuesday night, I think Glick's got a guest coming on for Glick's House of Music. Wednesday, it's still kind of up in the air. Other than if you guys tuned in last night, we had the special announcement of the new show starting in March that Glick's doing with him and Kayla. Thursday, we're gonna have another treat for you guys. We're having another Speedway Stories with. I'm gonna have two guests on the show at the same time Thursday night. My buddy Corey Butcher from We Broke Garage and Jimbo Finchner from Penny Pincher's YouTube channel. Uh, we're gonna have a little collab session with a couple of my local racing buddies and everything else, and we're gonna talk motorsports and our YouTube channels and everything, and we're gonna just hang out and kind of have a bullshit session with all four of us on the channel Thursday night, doing a kind of a giant collab between their channels and Nonsensical Network, and talk about what our plans are in the motorsports world for the 2026 season. Um, we'll that, and then next Friday, I think Glick and them and Kayla is going to do a movie night. I'm not 100% sure, and then we're right back on there again.
Oh, yeah.
So, but thank you all again for tuning in and stuff, and you guys all have a great Thursday evening, and we will catch you on the next one.
Thursday
Bye.
evening. Until next time.